I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. I'm always right. I'm always right. It's been a long day, I mean a long week, maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot, ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling. Cocky and appealing, possibly revealing, getting sideways like a bridesmaid as she vibrate. If you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom, something like a wonderland. Understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, believers? Guys, it is good to be back. My name is Bleaves. This is Breakfast with Bleaves. And guess what? I told you it was going to happen. I warned everybody that it was going to be happening. And guess what happened? What happened? 1,818 on Ethereum, setting a new local high. The high before that was 1,793. We just shattered that with 1,818 yesterday before a little dip in the market. Now, this dip in the market, what is it related to? Well, it's a little bit of the European markets being a bit nervous. And do you know why? Do you know why? Because the dollar be jacking, yo. We are still, even though, and listen, we had this conversation before. The dollar was way up here, and that's not good for the entire market to see the dollar having such strength. And guess what the dollar did? The dollar dipped back down. Everybody felt a little bit good. And then what happened? The dollar continued to pump back up. So now the European market's kind of stuck. What are they going to do against the power of the U.S. dollar? The answer, by the way, is take it on the chin. It's the way it looks. So pre-market on the SPY right now is looking like 412 based on 413. So we're not dipping too much. Dow Jones overnight looks like it was 39 points just a few minutes ago before we came on. Dow futures are now up 1. So the market is getting set to soar for the day. Obviously it depends on a lot of different circumstances. And what did we do? Well, because I can't control myself, I decided to go in for 16 ETH at 27,344. Bought it on this dip down here. I did not get the yellow. I did not get the line down here. But you can see right here, like if we're playing these lines and we're playing this like pros, then guess what we're doing? We're trying to get right down here, which is 1691. I didn't get down there. I got it 1709. So the total on it was 27,344. Currently trading at 1709. So we're just kind of treading water from that point, but it's been as high as you can see here for 1718. I got a feeling that we're going to pump just a little bit when the market's open. I'm hoping that we catch like a 1754 or something like that. We'll take a little bit of profit. That'll be like $500-600, but it's been a good weekend. I got out. If you guys remember, I was into that trade at 1750. Got out the trade in the middle of the night, basically yesterday morning. I didn't get out at 1818. However, I didn't hit that top, but I did hit this candle, and I was at 1790. So $600. It was worth it. However, it was not worth holding on to it for as long as I had held on to it, because I had held on to it for I think like 5 days, which $600 over 5 days. You're not going to make anything trading that way. But we did get fortunate enough to hit this dip down here. I do think we're going to start to see a pump here. I did put another 1,500 into Crow, by the way, and I got the Crow at 14.2, which was down a little bit over here a couple days ago. So at 14.6, we're still up a little bit. Certainly liked it more at 15 though. So that is that's where we are so far. So let's get in chat here. Thomas Brooks, no more vacations. We were lost. Yeah. Well, I got one more vacation coming because I am going to be, if you don't know, in a movie next month, and it won't be released next month. It'll be released somewhere near the holidays, of course. It does take a little while for these things to do post-production, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to be filming a murder scene where I'm going to get murdered for someone's gratification, and that's going to be September. I think it's the September 12th. I haven't gotten the confirmation. I got the contracts. I got the agreements and everything, but I have not gotten I've not gotten all of the information that I need in order to set myself up. I don't know exactly which days yet. We're going to find that out over the next couple of days. And but if you guys want to see, let me see if I got one. I should have. Give me 1 second here. I might be able to pop up a picture. So they're putting me on the poster for. Yeah, I think I got one right here. Okay. So they're gonna cartoonize it, of course, because that's how we do. And then I will be added into this. Poster. I think you're going to blur my shirt out, by the way. I forgot about that when I did it. So, whoops. There we go. All right, so I had to put on like an electrician, stuff like that. I made like 10, like I did a whole bunch of these different pictures so that, and yes, it is a Christmas tree, by the way, behind me, the Christmas tree all year. So, but yeah, I do have, I did make a whole bunch of these so that they can cut my picture out and put it into the poster. So, yeah, we're going to be rock stars in about a month. So, good morning, Diggy. Edward, good morning. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Good morning, Crypto B. What's going on, Edward? Crypto Twillo, thank you for having me back. What's going on, Robinson? Erect Candle, what's going on, man? Kat, good morning. Cody Core, good morning. Neo, good morning. Striker, good morning. Ulysses, good morning. On vacation. GM. And what's going on, Johnny Blaze? All right, so, and Sergio, good morning. So now we are caught up. We're doing a movie. It should be like I really hope that this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun for everybody. I assume that at least for some people, seeing me die is going to be like just great. I think everybody's going to be like, yeah, it's going to be awesome. What's going on, Ryan? What's going on, Crypto Junkie? And what's going on, T-Rex Juice? No more vacations allowed. We'll see. What's up, Lorenzo? Yeah, so I think that I think we're going to have a big week this week. I don't see tomorrow we have the CPI coming out, by the way. If you're not paying attention and you've been sleeping under a rock, CPI comes out, and CPI it should show that we have a reduction in inflation. Now, if it does not, we're going to be in trouble. I think that that's going to cause a deflation. What was our CPI number last month? 9.1. Yeah, so CPI number last month was 9.1. So if we get anything other, than a number below 9.1, then we're probably going to have a problem. Now, if you've been following, If you breathe through your mouth, you might be following Fox News. And what did Fox Business do this morning? Fox Business is trying to push the market down. Where's that Dow overnight? No, overnight. There was one on Fox Business this morning, and it's not on here now. I guess I should follow Fox Business more. But it said that the oh, you know what it was? CPI. Inflation fear remains. Bloomberg, CNBC, Fox. Do I just not get Fox Business or something? I promise you, Fox Business, the Fox Business News, allow ads on Fox Business. I don't mind for making money. Somewhere in here is an article that says from Fox Business that the Fed is, here we go. The Fed considers full percentage point rate hike, CPI, PPI, earnings report, and more. Tuesday's 5 things to know. And if you guys are into comedy Fox in any way, you were probably laughing your ass off watching Fox News try to spin the jobs report because there was like 520,000 jobs created. Fantastic number. In any presidency, it doesn't really matter. And listen, all they're doing is people just going back to work, right? But you can see here that this was that they were really trying hard. Jason Chaffetz was going out of his mind. Brian Kilmeade, I thought, was going to have a stroke. Jesse Waters, the guy that looks like the pedophile, the guy that looks like he hang out on Epstein Island. You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. You just don't want to admit it if you watch him, but you know what I'm talking about. He was like, they were just like, there's a video of them trying to spin. They were like, yeah, so the job report's coming out, and the job report's going to be awful. It's just blah 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 blah. Then all of a sudden he goes, and it's 528,000, and they can't be good jobs. Literally, the guy says, well, they can't be good jobs. So, like, it was out of control. Just a funny moment. But anyway, it was crazy. But you know what? Hopefully crazy is all done with. Now, let's go check the Bitcoin price, because this is what drives the market right now. And this is what I said could happen down here if we got the swing. By the way, there's a Bitcoin video coming out where I'm going to be telling you that I think that that's what's possible in this market. But here we are, by the way. So if we're looking for a bounce, you got to remember something here. So I'm looking at this as a bounce position. And the reason that it doesn't really matter if you get down here or not is because Bitcoin is accumulating right here on one of its bounce areas at 23,264. So what does that mean? Well, it means that this is the spot, and you can see that is, by the way, the wicks are starting to roll over, which means that we're headed back upwards. So if that gives us an impetus to head back up here and to come into this position, what we're trying to do at this point is we're trying to get into this area and beat this local high. This local high over here is 24,666. If we can get beyond that and we can get a push going into this level, into the 25s maybe, then we have no resistance. There's no level of resistance that you're going to see inside this little channel right here. And the reason for that is simply because the training that has gone through this, what we call golden, what's been going through what we call the golden pocket right here. And if you go to Frankie Candles, or if you go to any one of these guys, everybody's going to be telling you about this golden pocket, right? There's no resistance. The only thing that you saw was a sell-off as we were coming down and a buy-in as we were mooning a long time ago. And I'm not going to scroll all the way back on the hour chart in order to find it to show you what I'm talking about, but you know what I'm talking about. There was a big shoot. There was a big shot going upwards through 24,000 and all the way up to this 28,000. And then there was a move downward from 30,000 down to 20,000. So that's what we experienced in very quick succession and in very short order. So Now we've just been, you think about this, we have been in this channel and we have been absolutely rooted to this channel now for, what is this? We're at June 19. It's August. So for almost 2 months now, we have been in this channel slowly but surely trending upwards, trying to get ourselves back into a position to get to this point. And here's what you got to like about, here's what you have to like about all of this. We are, every single time, this was our bottom, this was a higher bottom, this was a higher bottom, this was a higher bottom, this was a much higher bottom. We are continuing to progress through this chart and hit higher highs and higher lows. That's a very bullish sentiment. That's exactly what you want to see. That's how this chart will start to move to the upside. Now, if that is the case, and if we're doing exactly what I'm pointing out here, we see it, then we got to ask ourselves, well, what is it that we're going to do going forward? And let's close that out. The logical assumption here is we're probably going to go higher right here, and we're going to get into this spot at some point, because this is where the trend line is showing us. Now, the one thing that should be alarming, but it isn't, because, and I'll show you in just 1 second why you shouldn't worry about it. We're hitting the top here. We're hitting the top here. We missed the top here, but we hit the top again right here, and we missed it right here. So most probably we end up hitting the top here again. That puts us into 26,000. Now, if we hit 26,000, we're inside this golden pocket, which should allow us to get up to at least 27,570. Now, if you watch Frankie Candles, he says 28,000 is clear sailing. I went with his number of 28,000 for clear sailing, but I do not believe that. I believe 27,005 is the top, and then we're going to have a struggle after that. So you can see, though, this is exactly how this thing plays out. I mean, it's crypto. It does what it does, and we could see some downside. Doesn't mean that we're done yet. We could absolutely see, since we did get close here, we can see this thing break all the way down. I feel like this is the low. I think this is where it broke down, but we're on a sell sticker on Chandelier, which tells us that we might have some issues. But generally speaking, when you look at this, you're looking at an upward trend the entire way. And I think the market is pretty indicative of the fact that we're feeling pretty good. We're still nervous. Obviously what we're doing right now in these markets is risk assessment. And the risk assessment says you got to kind of stay out of these danger, Will Robinson sort of areas. And we're seeing the Dow now back down 9. So the implied open is almost dead even with the previous day, which was up. How much were we up yesterday? We ended up 29 points up. But listen, we had a 400-point run. We lost 400 points. We had another 400 points. We had 274 points. When we start to look at the market, then we're getting a general upward trend going on. The 5-day 32.6 takes us to 32.8. Now, that's not a huge lift, but the monthly shows us going from 31,173 up to 32,832. We're now starting to reach at least a respectable sort of representation number in the 6 month. It's going to start going up probably right around here, because I think we're going to continue to move. So, I mean, that's kind of that's what we're reading. I mean, that's what these things are saying right now, right? So we're even here. We're continuing to pop this upwards a little bit, upwards a little bit, upwards a little bit. All we need is that good number tomorrow, and by good number, it can still be a bad number. We can still see like an 8.7% inflation number. We could still see we could still see like an 8.9% inflation number. We could still see inflation numbers that are up. But here's what we do know. The reporting right now is showing us that gas prices are down. I paid for the first time in a long time. I paid $3.47 for a gallon of gas to fill up my truck. So that was, I mean, I've been paying $5.40 for a long time, right? $4.99, $4.60 around the time that I left town, and $3.47 when I was getting into like the middle of Indiana. So, you know, gas prices are starting to come down. That means that shipping costs are starting to come down. And I saw an article that freight rates are starting to fall as shipping demand wavers. Container shipping spot rates still falling. What will be the new normal? So, no precipitous plunge in container shipping rates, just orderly decline. So we're starting to see prices falling. So, I mean, those are the things that you got to feel good about. That's when you look at the market and you know that this market is finally turning back to your side. And when that happens, that's when you start feeling a whole lot better. Now that BTC has broken the trend line, you think it's going to pump or dump? Well, it hasn't broken. See, it hasn't broken the line yet. We're still, Mark, we're still in this category here where we didn't hit this total bottom. But I mean, we could also, by the way, flash dip down to this bottom, but we're going back up. So, you know, I think that we didn't spend 2 months going upwards because people were thinking that it's going to go lower. If it did, then we wouldn't be seeing risk money coming into the market, and we are seeing it happen. So, if this thing's going to blow, like we're going to see it very quickly. We're going to see this thing happen like rapidly. So, do you know if BDC NFTs are going to be assigned random numbers? Also, hope so, because my 4 NFT numbers look like shit. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is the BDSC thing is. I really don't. I really can't tell you. Like I really have no idea how they're going to do that. I mean, I saw the Michael Jordan one yesterday. I know that there's some exclusives coming out. I didn't see any Believes exclusives, so. Bones seem to be running pretty good. What's going on, Hobbs? Eddie, what's going on? Heard Bitcoin could reach 77,000 a coin with the Coinbase and BlackRock. Yeah, so Eddie, listen, for anybody, by the way, if you're looking and you're reading this right now, heard Bitcoin can get to 773,000. Of course it can get to 73,000. It can get as far as it can get. But the question is really, hold on one second. The question is, how much money can you get in? You have to have people willing to risk money in this market, right? Which means that you're going to have that institutional money like BlackRock deeper into this. And to get BlackRock in, BlackRock is a testament to the market feeling like this is no longer going to be as risk averse as it was before, and BlackRock is just settling themselves in very, very early in this process, and they're taking advantage of Coinbase. Coinbase is showing weakness right now, and we've seen the weakness out of Coinbase. So you got to think about what kind of number does it take for Bitcoin to hit 773,000 per Bitcoin. And if you think, you know, it's a simple mathematical equation. Right now, you're looking at 23,282. Let's go over and you really work out the math. This is the market cap that you're going to need, right? You're at 23,283. So let's triple that, and let's say that that's about 70,000. Let's just go with 70,000. In order to triple that, that means that we're going to have $1.3 trillion in the market just in Bitcoin to get to a $70,000 Bitcoin. In order to get to the BlackRock type number, that's going to be $13 trillion, the maximum market cap. And again, we'll have to go over to CoinMarketCap because I don't mess with this one enough. But if we go to global charts and we look at the highs up here, and we see when was the global crypto market at its absolute highest, it was right here, and it was just shy, right here. Ew, gross. But it was just shy of $3 trillion. So we're not going to get any further than maybe $6 trillion right now. So if you're looking for, and you got to consider this also, market dominance is another big factor here. And when you look at your market dominance on Bitcoin, it's hovering around, just call it 40%. So if the crypto market is at, say, 4 trillion, if the crypto market is at 4 trillion, then 40% of that is going to be Bitcoin, which is 1.6 trillion. And if you're at a 1.6 trillion, what does that mean? That means about an $80,000 Bitcoin. So it's pretty simple to work out. It's pretty simple to work out over time, what you're going to end up seeing here. So, just the math is always the math. So 773,000 Bitcoin. Yes, we're gonna see that at some point. And there's 21. Look, when you go through the numbers and you say that there's 21 million Bitcoin, 5 million of which are probably lost to the annals of time that we'll never see again because they're buried somewhere and they'll never be recovered. If you just consider that we have 20 million Bitcoin and that's it. We have more millionaires in the world than we have Bitcoin. So not everybody can even have one Bitcoin. So there's going to be a run on the value of Bitcoin as time continues, and it's just going to take a long time, but we're going to get there. What's up, Sakib? ETH starts to really fall back down to the 13 to 15s. Not really. I mean, guys, everything looks like it can fall at any time, and it depends on where you're looking at it. If you're looking at it from this spot right here, then you can say, yeah, I mean, it's very possible that it's going to break down, but it's looked like it was going to break down here and it bounced up. It looked like it was going to break down here and it bounced way up. It looked like it was going to break down here and it bounced way up. It looked like it was going to break down right here, but it's going to bounce right up because that's what's happening right now. And the market's not getting worse. No matter what you think in the short term, there's nervous sentiment, sure. But the market is not breaking down right now. The market is showing support. And I might add, when we were talking about this, that we were hitting $1,000 right here. Then we got nervous again because it hit 1350 right here. Now we're nervous because it hit 16 right here. Now we're nervous because it hits 17 right here. So, what are we really doing? We're minting brand new highs every single time. So I wouldn't be so worried that it's going to break down. In order for that to happen, there's got to be word on the street that's going to cause it to break down. So if you're looking for something to cause it to break down, you're going to need somebody's going to need to drop a bomb somewhere and spook and freak out everybody. Now, could it happen? Sure. But it sure doesn't look like it's getting ready to happen. What looks like it's getting ready to happen is we're getting ready to start pumping again. And we're going to end up into this area, and not because of Ethereum, by the way, but because of Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin, it looks like when we hit our support lines, Bitcoin is bouncing off of a support line, and it's about to rebounce off of this support and go back into this area, and hopefully test that second one and have some success there. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, you can see right here, our support line is 23,260, 23,270, and we're at 23,290, 295 right now. So just have patience with the cycles. Let them play themselves out. Play the dips. Try to make a little bit of money off of each one of the dips, man. So what do you think we'll do once it reaches 27.5? Consolidate or dump? So once Bitcoin reaches 27,500, I don't know the answer to that. I think that we got to make a decision here. Like once it hits this area, it's gonna drop some. We know for sure because that's just what crypto does, and we know that this area is a resistance area. If you start to look at, whoops. If you look at your volume profiles, I don't know why it's not showing up here right now, but if you look at your volume profiles, then 100%, you can see that there's no volume in this area. So when it hits 27.5, that's the first volume area. That's the first area where people take profit. When people take profit, what happens? Price goes down. So we're going to expect 100% that you're going to see this pump into this area, and then you're going to see a correction come down here. But here's the problem. The problem and the benefit is if we were to, let's just say, pump right into this right now, and we hit that 27.5 number, then people are going to take profit. When they take profit, what happens? It dumps, but there's no support line until you get right here. So you're going to see it bounce down maybe to 24,676 and then come back up and test it again. And you may see it do this one more time before it breaks through. But then you have this up here. This is another area of support, which is now resistance, and that's at 30,000. So, we could just be making a long trend over to 30,000, and that's the way that it's playing out. And there we go. All right, hold on for me one second. All right, there we go. Sorry, man, I was off. I was off in Kentucky for the weekend. Will Terrarium drop to 5 zeros? At some point, I just don't know when that point is going to be. Let's go over here because I did want to address Terrarium. So, what was happening with Terrarium was there was a big announcement, and I mean that big announcement was, probably big as announcements go. But you can see here, like we were trending in this direction right now, and you can just take a look at this and just see we're not going that direction anymore. So we have to get rid of that, and then we have to consider that our trend line here now is more like this. It's still moving upwards, but it's not moving not as far upward as we want. And this is probably an aberration based on the excitement of an announcement. It looks like we've got this very tight little channel right here. But even if you say that that's one of the channels, then it's not really hitting much here. You can probably look here and ignore. Like right now, Terrarium is a little bit unpredictable. And you know what? It's moving upward. That's the important part. That's the part that you can say is that it's moving upward. There we go. But so here's the issue with Terrarium. Terrarium had, and you guys, Terrarium had some issues with how they told you things were going to be. Binance US, things like that probably didn't help a whole lot. But then when you get down here, so you get Milton for a couple days. The next Terrarium announcement, this is August 2nd, by the way. The next Terrarium announcement will be the biggest bomb I cannot disclose until completion due to policies and docs in place, but I can guarantee you that you would be Cloud9 in the next 10 business days if you're a holder. Great things happening. Then he says, why wait for 10 days? Bomb dropping tomorrow. Fasten your seatbelt. Meme tokens build swap. Stable coins build exchanges. Okay. And then we have this, the Marabon Dubai. Terrarium wins full approval to operate in Dubai. Terrarium wins full approval to operate in the USA. Terrarium wins full approval to operate in India. So that is huge. But as you can see here from the price action, and you saw the price action, that's not what motivates a market. That is great for the long-term health of Terrarium. This is one of those things. It doesn't move the market. Doesn't make the market, like, the market doesn't care about what just happened there. They care about right here and right now, right? So what you didn't see is you didn't see the continuation of that big upward trend. What you saw is it started to correct downward, and we're starting to level ourselves out. We can even look at this as an hourly and say that we're still obviously heading upwards. You can still see that. And maybe we're, all right, so maybe we're forming this triangle pattern here. But I don't know that that's going to do anything other than continue what it's doing right now. I mean, it has to break at some point, one way or another. I would think that it'll break to the upside, but I think it's more market dependent at this point. Unless, which goes back over here, he was very happy about this. He was very happy. The market doesn't really care nearly as much about this, even though it's a big deal, right? They don't care nearly as much. But then you see all government approvals ready as promised. Terrarium, y'all know what's next. And Dr. Pena really kind of nails this. He says Terrarium is fighting FUD with revenue-generating utilities, a multi-service centralized crypto exchange, and global business licensing. Terrarium is planting the seeds, the necessary seeds now in order to become a crypto powerhouse. We are all very early, that's an honest truth right there. But there's also, you gotta have, at this point, you gotta have a new exchange announced that you're trading on. That's what's going to move. If you want to see Terrarium move upwards, then you got to have an announcement of a new exchange or a new utility launch, and then you got to give it a few days. Let the enthusiasm build for that. That's what will happen with Terrarium. So, and by the way, 5 zeros is a long way off. It's entirely possible. If you look at this right here, I'm giving it like 500x from where it is right now, saying that it's going to have a 20 billion market cap. What was it, 1,000? No, yeah, 500x from where it is right now. So 500x is going to be 1, 2. I'll split the difference with you and say 2.5. How about that? Will Luna Classic reach a penny? Probably, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Like it really is. That's complicated. So I did put out a video for anybody who's interested in Luna Classic. I won't go deep into it here right now, but look, guys. With all honesty here, you are being sorely misled by a lot of people in this space. Some of them my friends, some of them not my friends. But you are being misled by a lot of people. Nothing is going to happen until September 12th. The only thing that matters at this point is this. 4159, this proposal requires a specific block height. And they said on Twitter what that block height is. That block height will not occur until September 12th. So nothing matters until that point. So it doesn't mean that there won't be pumps or anything like that. But you've been told over and over again, all these great things are going to happen, or now that the bomb drops, and I don't even remember what these I don't even remember what these ridiculous announcements are or have been or anything like that. I just know that I keep seeing them everywhere, and it's, look, in my mind, it's a little disingenuous to keep telling you that, oh, it's almost here, here it comes. It's not here. This is what the chart looks like, other than this little flash dump here. This is what the chart looks like. 1,000. It's trading at 1,000. It's trading at 1,000. It's trading at 1,000. You look at the monthly chart, other than pumping every once in a while when there's the thought of some announcement, it's trading at 1,000. It's accumulating, and it's waiting for something to happen. Nothing's going to happen until September 12th. And what's going to happen on September 12th is all of this stuff gets launched. And nothing matters until validators are activated. Now, at this point, validators are 40.95 right here. They're not even, so you can't create a DApp. You can't confirm a transaction. You can't do anything on this blockchain network right now. You won't be able to do that until September 12th. So everything you're trading right now is a meme coin. The tax and burn doesn't get implemented until September 12th. So nothing that these people have been telling you has been honest, because they're not doing due diligence and they're not recognizing what is or is not ready to happen. So this is what's going on. 3568 will happen September 12th. 4095 will happen September 12th, on or about September 12th. Right now it's tentative at September 12th. That's what this is also. All three of these are part of it. Now, if you want good news, TFL, which is Terraform Labs has met with the Terra rebels, and they told the Terra rebels what they need to do in order to get both of these things implemented, and it will again happen on September 12th. And Terraform Labs is being very gracious all of a sudden and helping these guys. Now, once those are done, once those are implemented, we move on to the next one. What's the next one? Next one is probably 4080, which is you distribute 50% transaction fees to the community pool, plus increase the proposer validator rewards. Now, what it does is it takes the transaction fees, and if you ever go in here and you ever use your wallet to make a transaction, there's a little fee involved, right? A little fee involved. What they want to do is they want to take 50% of the transaction fees, and they want to burn 35% of those in a monthly community pool. Then they want to airdrop 10% to the ecosystem devs, which are DApp creators, and then 5% to core Terra Classic development, which means that they will be able to continue to function and continue to build on the network. So they will have a stream of revenue in order to do that with. So that's the next likely thing that's going to be implemented. So then once you get past those, then 1299 is probably the most monumental, and it's going to be a while before this one gets implemented. This one, and this is very important, by the way, this is when you do the IBC, which is the internet bridge. This is the bridge connection to reconnect UST to Luna. Now, the same problem that existed back then still exists. So they're trying to work through, how do we stop this thing from happening again? How do we stop Citadel from coming in and creating a death spiral one more time and wrecking everybody yet again? And until they can answer that question, 1299 is not going to be implemented. But it's in the pipeline. It's been passed. People want to see it happen. So we will end up seeing it happen. So that's where we are right now. And that's what's going on with Terra. And now you're completely up to date. And nothing will happen until September 12th. Will Cult DAO go to $1? Nope. Nope. Look, I was talking about Cult DAO, and I was saying that I am not a fan of Cult DAO, and that I haven't been a fan of Cult DAO, and that Cult DAO was not going to do anything. And here we are. Cult DAO is right where it was a month ago when I started telling you guys that you couldn't maintain 1,400 for an extended period of time. This is where we had the conversation. What did it do? It pumped. When did it pump? When Ethereum pumped. Why? Because it doesn't do anything. Cult DAO is going nowhere local term. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not going to have a moment where, something good could happen to it. I'm not saying there's not going to be something good that happens. It's just that I never saw it, and I still don't see it. And obviously, investors long-term don't see it, because guess what? All of these investors, all these fringe people, the reason this number is down like this, the reason it's down like this is because of one thing right now, Jigsaw. Because everybody abandoned ship and moved to Jigsaw. And that's all I can say about that. What's going on, Timsky? Will Volt do 10x this year? This year, if there's any kind of meme token out there that can do it based on the development, then they would be it. But there's probably going to be some others that are going to do even bigger numbers, just because the market cap, Volt market cap, is still $50 million. So if it 10x's, it's going to be a $500 million market cap, which is reasonable, which would be reasonable if it's got a DeFi exchange. But as you can see here, right now it's broken to the downside. And, I said that, this right here, by the way, the reason that I did this right here, and I said it's going to accumulate right here through this channel, and then right here is where it breaks, and you can see it breaking because as you kind of zoom out and you see like where it's touching tops, et cetera, then it's right here. Well, guess what date? Spoiler alert. VoltaChange launches right there. So what are you going to see then? You're going to see it go up this way. And how far it goes, that depends on the market. That depends on the sentiment at the time. I'm not sure what it does or doesn't do. I just know that we're at the 21st where everything starts to happen. So what I anticipate is we'll probably get back into this channel over the next couple days, or probably next 24 hours, because this thing tends to move pretty quickly. And then we'll move around in here. Then we'll probably break to the upside for the VoltaChange announcement, and it'll look, something like this. And then we'll start to see this, and then it goes up, 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 and then we get the launch, and then it goes back down, and then we see if we form a new level, and then maybe it takes off from there. I mean, that's what it generally is going to look like. What's going on, Howie? BlackRock are not here to help us. Also, isn't it a conflict of interest? Yeah, you're giving the SEC too much credit for that. No. Why is XDC up? I have no idea. I never cover XDC, so today's not going to be the day, I don't think. And if I do, I'm not going to be able to give you like an informed answer. So it's better that I just hold off and say pass. I think it would pump to 27.5, then dump to 18.5, then moon. I would say that, Ulysses, except I don't think we have a bottom in us again. Like I don't think. I got a feeling that we've already hit the bottom, and we're not going back. I don't think that we have this back here anymore. Something like BlackRock coming into the space, that kind of that kind of tells me that we're going up from here. Shift 3x this week. Yeah, I think it did. I'm not sure what the total amount was. I didn't look, but I know it's very easy, by the way, for me to just dismiss and not look at where shift is, because everything that I have is staked, so I don't see it. But if you go back and look for, since the 25th, it is 300% up from July 26th. It's up 300% right now. So, the launch is still, from what I'm told, the launch is still on track, and there's an AMA scheduled for tomorrow in their Telegram that I just saw yesterday. So I feel like it's in here somewhere. Yeah, so tomorrow at noon my time, Central Standard Time, there's going to be an AMA. So yeah, also if you're interested, let's go over here and let's do this. One random super prize chosen by Shift token to retire. Random prize to the biggest buyer. Prize to be determined by heavyweight at the end of competition. The buy tax right now is 0. 5-star giveaway. Must buy and hold 0.1 ETH of Shift. 1 entry per wallet. 3 prizes. First prize is 0.3 ETH for the Shift token. Second prize is 0.2 and then 0.1. After 25 entries, we will hold the duck race. So if you want an opportunity to earn a little bit more, there you go. Let's talk about, by the way, while we're at it, Boxa. And you can see here that it fell back down, but Boxa was just having a monumental moment, going from roughly 4,000 down here. This is where I invested, by the way, and it went all the way up to, I think it was 1539. I'm not sure exact, 1527, I think. Yeah, 1527. So it went all the way up to 1527 before starting to retrace down to 74. Now it seems to be correcting itself just a little bit from there. But this thing went on a run. And listen, if you're not, and if you haven't, then look, you basically have almost, it's not free vacations. You still have to pay for the travel and stuff like that. But the places that they allow you to go for 9 million tokens, and that's all you have to do is hold it in your wallet. So 9,000 worth of Boxa allows you to stay at this place right here, and you can do it once every 3 months. So I mean, this place is pretty kick-ass. And how's that for a view from your pool? You know what I mean? And then there's this one, which is less. It's 5 million tokens or 5,000. And as you go through here, look, you can see this is a resort, by the way. So there's a lot of locations available for this one. Indoor and outdoor pools, all the amenities, anything you can have at a resort, of course. Then you have this one, which is in Mexico. This is the rustic home. It's basically a villa. Oh, look at that tub. God damn. So that's pretty kick-ass. And then you have this one in Slovenia. I kind of like the one in Slovenia, by the way. I really don't know why. I like to say Slovenia. The sauna certainly helps. And all you have to do is hold tokens. Like, you don't even have to. And then, by the way, this is a new one. This is going to be a resort again. So this one's going to be available in March of 2023, right here. Pictures displayed on this page are not the real ones, but only the interior design shared by construction team. The final results may differ. So this is going to be accepting Boxa tokens. Don't know the amount yet, but this is, again, these are designs. These are not actual photos, but I mean, that seems like a pretty cool place to stay, right? Anyway, so there's that going on. And now we've got some updates in the market, and the Dow Jones is now down 73 points, down 72 points. The SPY is down 1.76, and it looks like the struggle is on. So is this just that early profit taking before we start to move? Or is this the Jeets going, well, I don't know. I mean, the market could go up or it could go down. I don't know. But it looks like it is correcting itself back to zero as we speak. So we'll see how the day plays out. You know, this sort of dump in the middle or early. I got to go check and see were there any. I thought the earnings reports were up. So Workhorse, Ralph Lauren beats. Workhorse beats. So if you're looking for Cisco is in line, Hilton Grand misses. Norwegian Cruise Lines misses. So if you might have a bunch of Jeets out there going, well, I don't know. I mean, you know, maybe these places where I stay for vacation, they're not doing so good. It's not a reason to get out of the market, so they're bullshitting you. This is a fake out. Kronos Group reports 0.06 per share. 0.06 per share, like they're right on, and they're small. EVGO misses. Again, small volume. Hyatt Hotels beats on revenue of 1.5 billion. Capri Holdings beats. Planet Fitness missed. It doesn't look like the earnings per share it got right, but it missed the revenue by 5 million. That should really be in line, though, don't you think? Spirit Airlines is right in line. So there's no real reason for the market to be dipping, other than a bunch of Chads doing what can only be described as Chad shit. But anyway, Lillian also had a nice run, and if you were paying attention to Lillian, then you saw this massive little run up here. Around here, I was on vacation. I saw it hit, and I knew that this was going to be where the sell-off was happening because it started to trend sideways. And if you go down to like a 5-minute chart, you can literally see, like you had one of those moments where you're like, oh yeah, this is coming down. And it was right there. Like you could see that it was building. It had already lost the momentum, whatever momentum it had, stopped right about there, and you knew this was coming. And then you saw it consolidate to the side, and it kept moving upwards and upwards and upwards and upwards, and it was feeling pretty good. And then you had that final breakdown. And then you got that final breakdown, and you see some sideways action, which again was indicative of exactly what was happening over here, moving a little bit upwards, and then it broke down another level, and now it's doing the same thing again, going sideways, probably going to break down another level. We're going to have to get some support from Ethereum. If we see a support from Ethereum, then sure, we'll get it. If not, then, you know, we'll have further breaking down. But that is my time, guys. Let me go through these real quick. Terra is pump and dump using Saitama's playbook. Shift 3X. Yeah, it's on track. Luna Classic that you haven't covered yet. No, I think I covered everything just now. All right, so you're going to see a little bit as this market goes down for a little while, and then I think you're going to see this thing run. And a few hours from now, we're going to be looking at it like, wow, nice run. So that's a guess, though. What's going on, Rick Vaughn? Went to Kentucky for the weekend. Got the Fox News description earlier. Can you describe how all the other news stations? I can't, because I only read it in the news, and I only see it by headlines, and so I have no real. Let's see what CNN did. CNN should be dancing. No. FBI executes search warrant at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. The search was related to handling of presidential documents. So it was based on presidential documents. Good morning. Volt's going to have a moment. Heck's still a great play. All right, guys. That is my alarm. It is time for me to go. We are not rich yet, Jason, but hey, man, we'll see it very soon. And By the way, there's content coming out all day today. I did make some videos. So, but remember, this is not financial advice. My name is Bleaves. I'm always right. And we will talk to you again for bedtime tomorrow.